First of all, really appreciate everybody being here. What's up, guys? How we doing? Great crowd. Unbelievable support from this community. I'm not surprised one bit. I think it was announced 72,000. I had somebody count personally, and it was 82,000 there. So we asked for 80, and we got 82. So appreciative of that. We got a lot of work done this spring. I think everybody can tell we still got a long ways to go. But our focus is on every single day getting better from now to our first game against Central Florida. And if we do that, get better every single day academically, athletically, socially, and spiritually, then we'll be in great shape by the time the season gets going. I truly believe that. This staff has a track record of doing that, getting better every single day, and getting better all season. These players are committed, and I'm excited. I think we obviously have a lot of work to do in a lot of different areas. We have to get better, myself included. The coaches, the players, the trainers, the managers, all of us that are in this thing together, we got to get better. But I like where we're going. Couldn't be more excited to be here. Couldn't be more proud to be the head football coach at Penn State.
Coach, you've been saying for a while that the defense is ahead of the offense. Do you think that showed today? And what percentage of the playbook did we maybe see today?
Yeah, I think the defense is ahead. I don't think there's any doubt about that. It was either that or we really wanted to work on our punting game. We wanted to get Gola a lot of work. I don't know if that necessarily was it. But yeah, we got a lot of work to do. I think our defense is slightly ahead. We got a little bit better depth right now on the defensive side of the ball, especially up front, which is really kind of where the game is played. I think we got some talent on the perimeter and in the backfield at the quarterback position, but we got to get some things resolved up front. We're going to have to be creative with that, and we're going to have to continue to develop in these guys. But I think that's where it shows up the most, is up front. The playbook was obviously limited. I don't know if it was necessarily limited because that's our philosophy. I'm not one of these paranoid college football coaches. They got 3 years of really good film on us. It's not like we're hiding a whole lot. The playbook's limited just because of where we're at, with some of our situations, dividing the team up, being thin with personnel and things like that. But it is what it is. You guys don't want to hear about it. Nobody else does. We just got to find a way to overcome it and embrace the challenge that we have.
What were one or two areas that you liked?
Are these mics on? Can you guys hear?
What were one or two areas that you liked the most that you saw today?
I think the D-line. I think we got depth and I think we got talent on the defensive line. As you guys saw, we only got Hack really 3 series because we really wanted to see Mike O'Connor and give him a chance. We wanted to get some reps from these guys and it'd be clean, but on the same hand, get out of the game healthy. But I think O'Connor was able to get some reps, which was helpful. We're really going to be able to evaluate that right now. But I think the defensive line is the position where the most depth, the most talent, that probably stood out to me the most right now. I think our special teams, I think Gola did some nice things today. I think Ficken has done some nice things, so I'm pleased with that. But we got a lot of areas to get better in a lot of different situations, and I think in the long end we're going to be in really good shape. But we got work to do. I think D-line, to answer your question, D-line and being able to get the young guys some work was the biggest deal.
James, to your left, can you evaluate the spring performance of Hackenberg and O'Connor and the other quarterbacks? How far they've come?
Yeah, I think Hackenberg. We're going to be going into camp feeling pretty confident. I think he's comfortable with what's going on. He's got a really good understanding of concepts. He's getting more comfortable with the terminology. I've been pleased with him. He's extremely accurate. He's got a really good feel for the game. He's got great arm strength. And I think we're going to be able to do some things to help him as well. So I'm pleased with him. Was Mike O'Connor the one you asked about? Yeah, I think for a freshman, he's doing some really nice things. I think he's got a pretty good mind when it comes to the game. It comes natural to him. There's a lot of areas from a fundamental standpoint that we have to work on, but a lot of things that you're looking at with young quarterbacks is, do they panic or not? He's not a guy that panics. He's very, very comfortable. He's got a good feel of where to go with the ball and why. He's got a good understanding of protections. I think the improvement that you're going to see from him between now and the first game will be dramatic.
Hey, James, Anthony Alosi was not on the spring roster. What is his status with the team?
Anthony is indefinitely suspended from the team right now. Yes, sir.
We saw a good bit of the Wildcat today. What is your plan with that going forward? Is that going to be a big part of the plan for the fall? And do you have a catchy new name for it at Penn State?
Yeah, I think we're going to go with Wildcat. I think is what we're going to call it. I'm more worried about the execution and things like that than I am coming up with some catchy catchphrase. But that will be a part of our offense. How much, I'm not sure. It just kind of depends on how camp goes. We'll probably limit how much we run Hackenberg, obviously. So the way to kind of get that package of your offense is by doing it out of the Wildcat. You're able to play true 11-on-11 offense versus defense. Every other offense you run, the defense has an advantage of +1 on you. So I think it makes sense. We've had a lot of success with it in the past, so it'll be a part. How big a part of the offense is, we'll wait to be seen.
James, you mentioned before concern for the offensive line's depth. In your coaching career before, have you ever faced a depth issue quite like this, or is this a new challenge? And how did the offensive line fare today, in your opinion?
I think this is probably unique. I've been places that, when we first showed up, we had some challenges in terms of depth and things like that. I'm not sure if I've ever been in a situation where you don't even have a scholarship too deep. And with that, we're talking about guys that we've moved over from other sides of the ball. We're talking about guys that we've moved from one position to another, tight ends that we've converted. I don't know if we've ever been in this situation before. But once again, it is what it is. We're going to find a way to make it work. I think the kids are going to work extremely hard, and we're going to have to rely on some freshmen, maybe at positions you typically don't rely on them at. And that's going to be across the board. That's going to be from wide receiver to DB to O-line to D-line. We're going to play them all.
You watched the game from the field, from behind the offense. Is that something you did at Vanderbilt, or is that something new? And is that just a view, or is it so you can pull people aside and tell them things, or what's the reason for that?
No, the whole reason to be on the field is to basically control the quarterback. I wanted the officials to call the game, blow the whistle, do those types of things, but I was going to protect the quarterback. Our players do a great job of that because they understand how we practice and things like that, but I was going to stand back there and blow when it would be considered a sack. I typically do that in practice every single day, but in a scrimmage, I definitely want to be back there, so that's the only reason for that.
Coach, you mentioned one of your priorities coming into the spring was to build some trust with this current group of players. How did you do in that area, and did the guys, catch on pretty quickly as to what was going on with you and your staff with practices, the high energy, the running around? How did they respond to you guys?
I think so. The guys have been great. This is a resilient group, as you guys could all imagine. They've been through a lot of adversity over their careers here. I think because of that, they've become really, really close as players. And when we first got here, there was a little bit of a wall. Come on. You bring a chair? Yeah. Sorry. You say hi?
Hi.
Say hi.
Hi.
There's a little bit of a wall up. I don't think there's any doubt about that. We're starting to break that wall down for sure. But that's going to be a work in progress, no different than the offense and the defense. By the time the season comes, I think we're going to do a lot of things during camp in the summer, team building things. Whether it's paintball, whether it's bowling, whatever it is, whether it's a dodgeball tournament, we're going to do a lot of things, have fun. So it's not just football and coaching them and being demanding all the time, that they can see the other sides. I think the other part that's going to be really important is this summer, all of our families will get here. I haven't seen these two in a month. That's why I'm not going to make them sit over there and wait to spend some time with them, because I think that's another important part of it, that the players get to see us as more than just coaches. They see us as fathers and husbands. They come to our homes, and I think that's very, very important. We're going to have a parent picnic after this, because I haven't met 90% of the parents as well. So we're going to go out and break bread with them, get a chance to meet all the parents as well, and that's going to help. Every point is important, and we just got to continue building in every aspect. Every area is important.
James, Matt Bainey got a lot of work with the first team guys today on defense. What strides has he made this spring, and what have you seen out of him?
He's done a nice job. He's a really good football player. He's a local kid. It's very important to him. He's a coach's kid. He's a guy, I think, that's maximizing his experience here. We're going to evaluate his spring and see what type of role he's going to have for us. He's been very productive. He's been very productive this spring. There's no doubt about it. I think we're going to have to look. Is our personnel going to allow us to be able to play with a 4-3 and 3 true linebackers next year? Or are we going to be what we call more star, which a lot of people call nickel, where you're playing with a big safety in that position? We'll see. These are all the things that we're going to have to study and evaluate, not only with the production of the players that were on the field, but with the incoming players as well.
James, you mentioned the attendance. Can you comment a little bit more about the atmosphere? Did it exceed your expectations for the first time being here? And also, how much of a selling point a spring game can be with a program?
I think so. I think whenever you have 82,000 show up, it puts you, I'll be interested to see, they always do some statistics after spring ball and look at what everybody had as attendance at their games. I don't think there's any doubt that we're special, and one of the big reasons we're special is because of the support that we get from the community. I was very, very impressed. I've never been to a game here before, so running out into that stadium was an unbelievably emotional experience for me, and couldn't be more excited. I can't tell you how appreciative we are. I can't tell you how important it's going to be that we sell out every single game, 107,000 at every single game. We're actually going to up it up. We're going to add one more. But that's going to be very, very important for us to continue to build in terms of recruiting. It's going to be important for us to show these players the support that they have, the advantage that our defense is going to have, having a third down advantage with crowd noise, so the offense is going to have to use a silent cadence. All of those things are invaluable. And then obviously from a financial implications, that's going to be important for us as well.
James, can you kind of walk us through what you do the next couple weeks here as far as evaluating these guys? Will you bring them in and meet with kids? Will they do it by positions? And kind of how you develop the roster for the next few weeks?
Yes, great question. What we'll do is Monday we'll come in as a staff. We'll grade the tape in detail. We'll watch it as a staff as well, so we'll grade it as position coaches, and then we'll watch it, offense and defense, and then I'll get a chance to watch it with the coordinators. Then the coaches will go through and they will do an evaluation of each player, and that evaluation is them on the field. The academic counselors have evaluated them and what they've done this year academically, the training staff, everybody has input, and then I'll sit down and go through each area of responsibility with them, areas that they need to improve, and then I'm going to give them my feedback as well, things that I think they need to work on, where we're going, the direction we're going, and goals for the all season. So I'll meet with every single player on the team. It might take 2 weeks, it might take 3 weeks, whatever it is, but we'll schedule them basically from 6 in the morning to 11 o'clock at night. About a 20-minute meeting with each kid. Some will go longer. And then obviously the coaches will be on the road. So after that Monday, we'll have coaches start hitting the road. Obviously we're going to hit the state really hard because you guys know we're going to dominate the state, exactly right. And then after that, we're going to start working on dominating the states with an S, and getting out wherever we have to do, first regionally and then nationally, so we can find as many really, really good football players and people and students that can come here and make a positive impact on this community and this program.
We're going to take 2 more questions.
Coach, this is obviously the type of game where some guys will get in that we won't see a whole lot of in the regular season. Can you talk a little bit about how nice it was to see Cole Chapiel come out there, have a nice game, and what kind of things did you see from him in the spring?
Yeah, he's had a great spring. I think I mentioned that a week ago that I've been very, very impressed with him. I thought we had 4 backs that have showed flashes of some really good things. He's got great vision. He's got great toughness and balance. I think there's a role for him in this football program. He needs to be a huge contributor on special teams. I think he's got a similar style to Zwinek in the way he runs. So I'm excited for him, and I'm proud of him. He's a guy that has come in here. He's worked extremely hard. Everybody in the organization has tremendous respect for how he carries himself and how he works. And to me, that's what spring ball is about. It's about creating opportunities for guys to get a shot, to show what they can do on the big stage. They'll get an opportunity during camp as well, about a 2-week period to show what they can do. And then after that, we will split up to scout teams and, we'll start getting ready for the season. And after that point, it's kind of difficult. It's kind of difficult for guys to make a move. But spring ball's for that, this summer's for that, and then the first 2 weeks of camp will be.
That was my question, James, but since we're on Cole, do you remember when you noticed him? Sometimes it's hard for walk-ons to get noticed. Do you remember the moment or anything he did that caught your attention?
Yeah, well, first of all, let me say this. Guys that are in our program, I don't care how they got here. They're all ours. We don't treat scholarship any different than we treat walk-ons. We don't treat in-state kids any different than out-of-state kids. Everybody is going to be given a fair shot here. If you're the best player, you will play. I don't care if you're a senior or a freshman. We're going to play the best guy. So he showed up from day one with his attitude. He showed up with his attention to detail. He showed up every single day in practice, making plays. I've been very, very impressed with him. So, I want there to be more guys like that. That's what's great about being at a state school like Penn State. You're going to have a really strong run-on, walk-on program, whatever you call it. But once they join the family, they're part of the family. And they're just as important as the head coach. They're just as important as the starting quarterback. We all have different roles, but every role is important. And they're valued and they're appreciated, every single one of them.